The overall mission of the 355th Maintenance Group, it is to provide the capability that we need to rescue and attack. What makes a good airman in maintenance is an individual who cares about their job. Somebody who wants to, produce air power, that wants to be part of the world's greatest Air Force, that wants to be part of the mission, that wants to be there when the pilot comes back and the aircraft's empty after, flying a mission over, God knows where. It's taking pride in what you do. It's taking responsibility for somebody else's life in your hand, to know that everybody's depending on you to make sure that that pilot comes back safe. We're the biggest maintenance group in ACC. We help produce every A-10 pilot that comes through the pipeline. It takes us all. Not one squadron can work independently of each other. If EMS doesn't do their job, then the Bulldogs can't do theirs. If the 79th doesn't do their job, then the 55th can't do their job. We all have to work together to make sure that we can rescue and attack. We can provide both assets to be able to produce that rescue and attack capability. The maintenance group brings that exactly. The aircraft that are going to be able to support that, they're going to be able to do that mission. The maintainer is always the one that's going to be there to be able to provide that capability of what we do, fly, fight, win. They might not be the ones in the cockpit, but they're the ones that make sure that all the munitions are loaded, that all the systems on the aircraft work, that all the systems are available to that pilot to make sure they safely get home, they can execute the mission, and then we fix it all up and do it all over again.
My favorite unique part of working with ammo was definitely like the community. We're one of the only AFSCs that still has an in-place 7-level school where we go and learn how to build bombs in like a contingency environment. We provide all the munitions support for the entire base, so not just the MXG, but the wing as a whole. So logistically, we manage all the munitions coming in the base, out of the base. The scope of what we handle on base is pretty broad. And so we're just trying to make sure that we can support the Air Force to build A-10 pilots, to build rescue squadrons, just overall support to make sure that their training can happen efficiently and on time and they get all the requirements met that they need to. What makes a good ammo troop is somebody who's motivated, they're going to get the job done. They don't let problems stop them. They hit a wall, they go over it, they go around it, they go through it, whatever the case is, they just keep pushing to get the job done. The Air Force as a whole tries to breed that with everybody, but I feel like there's a lot of opportunities to implement those kind of ideas in ammo.
The mission of the 55th Rescue Generation Squadron is to generate safe and reliable aircraft for combat search and rescue operations, as well as civilian search and rescue operations in the local area. I think the thing that sets us apart from the rest of the 355th Maintenance Group is that we are a helicopter platform, whereas the rest are all fixed wing. Our mission is just a little bit different, whereas C-130s are providing overhead, A-10s are providing that close air support, and then 60s are able to go in, land, and actually see what's going on up front, close, personal. I think what makes our platform important is the fact that if aircrew does go down anywhere in the world, you can't just land an A-10 or a C-130 in just a small area, whereas a 60 can just land where it needs to provide that life-saving support when needed. The airmen that we have here have some of the best drive, some of the best heart and knowledge that I've seen in my 15 years experience. These guys come to work every day with a positive attitude, ready to execute this mission.
'79th RGS is rescue. Our mission is to save lives. What makes our unit work so well is how well we manage to maintain communication, not just as maintainers, but with our pilots, operational side and maintenance side. We work really well together, hand in hand, and make sure we're always keeping up those lines of communication so that if there is a problem, we can address it as soon as possible. As maintainers, we make sure that the aircraft is completely ready to fly, and we make sure that our pilots are confident in the aircraft they're taking is going to be able to help them accomplish the mission they need to so that they can save lives. We also do TDYs quite often, and these are all practice missions to make sure our pilots, our aircrew, and us as maintainers are ready for that high-paced environment when we are in theater. We are able to take off in improvised landing zones, which makes us very useful. We've also done some missions with Border Patrol. There was a gentleman who was stuck in the Rio Grande, I believe, and we were able to provide that rescue assistance. As maintainers, if we don't fix these aircraft, then they're not going to be able to go up there and do that mission.
So the mission of EMS, we touch everything on and off equipment. We provide support for any airframe on this base. If there's a repair to be done, it doesn't go without EMS touching it. Our hands are involved in everything. So on equipment will be anything on the aircraft, right? So if there's a landing strut that is failing or has possible damage, we go out there, inspect it, deem if we can perform the repair procedures on the aircraft or pull it off, which then leads us to the off equipment, bringing it back to the back shops and performing our maintenance there. A lot of bases I've been to, it's just one type of aircraft. You see the same thing every single day, it becomes mundane. Here we have a whole total scope when it comes to our rescue and attack mission. So whether we're working C-130s, HH-60s, or A-10s, it's something new to be involved with. What makes 355th EMS important is, again, no maintenance is done without the hands of EMS involved. Whether it's going to fabrication flight, sitting in phase, whatever it may be, EMS is going to have their hand in it.
The main mission here is rescue and attack. So within CMS, we are the support for the flight line. All the deployments, all the TDYs, all the training missions through the 357th and through the 354th, we are kind of that lifeline of engine maintenance. So if they have aircraft that are in need of a quick swap of an engine, they can easily come to the propulsion back shop and get an engine instead of having to set up and tear down on the flight line. It just makes more of a streamlined and efficient maintenance practice for engine swap outs. The CMS supports not only the MXG through the 55th, 79th FGSs with the C-130s as T-56s. We also support the 354th, 357th FGSs with the TF-34 engines for the A-10 aircraft. One of the other components that we also do support off base is we are the CERF, the centralized repair facility for Whiteman Air Force Base for Global Strike Command, as well as Nellis and Hill for other ACC components.
The mission of the 357th Fire Generation Squadron is to take care of the aircraft maintenance in every way and aspect that is possible in the United States Air Force. Whether it's launching or recovering aircraft, to loading munitions, we take care of it from start to finish. The 357th Fire Generation Squadron ensures that the 357th Fighter Squadron can sustain training fighter pilots each and every day. There's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes, but making sure that they have aircraft to fly to get after their training requirements ensures that we have fighter pilots of the next generation. So being in 357th, for me, it's a fantastic job. I get the unique opportunity to make sure that the airmen are trained each and every day. It's not just about training the pilots, but it's about training the maintainers. A lot of folks come in, this is not their first location, and it won't be their last. For us, it's making sure that they have the training proficiencies and qualifications that they need to get the job done here each and every day, but also wherever the Air Force career may take them. The story of the Dragons has a long reach in history, been around since World War II. It's a phenomenal legacy that we have left behind. And really, at the end of the day, it's not these four walls that I stand in. It's not the airplanes on the ramp. It's the maintainers and the people, the airmen, that have been so critical and crucial to making this mission happen.
The mission of the 354th Fighter Generation Squadron is to develop and maintain combat-ready aircraft. We are the only combat-capable A-10 unit on base, and 3 to 4 times a year we do exercises at different locations, and we also coordinate with other DoD agencies to increase our combat capabilities. It makes me feel proud. You know, it makes me feel proud to wear this uniform and go down there and be able to fix these things if they break and help keep them flying so they can go do their mission to, you know, protect our country. Whatever's broke, so it could be anywhere from a radio gone bad or a generator gone bad or something hydraulically gone bad, we fix it. You want to fix it the right way to where it works as advertised to protect the pilot and get him there and back safe. What the 354th FGS brings to the whole big Air Force is just a deployable unit that's ready to go out there and attack and help protect our country when called upon.